Hello friends, hello y'all, what's up? Greetings and humble salutations, my name is welcome back to my channel. Today I got some tea for y'all. This is Jack Daniels, but that's the tea. Today I'm going to be talking about something very near and dear to my heart. I'm a G, so I ain't gonna cry. We're gonna start off with the Rostello. It's an Italian wine. About to give y'all a story time. As you can see, the time I went to jail. It's crazy. It's so crazy. I kind of try to forget about this. I kind of like put it in the very eyelash. I try to put it like in the very back of my head so that I kind of like don't think about it. But this is a story I'm going to be able to tell my kids, so I gotta remember it some way, somehow. Cheers. This is good. So after I graduated May of 2019 from the Florida State University with my bachelor's in social sciences, I had a summer job for up until July, and my plans was to move to Georgia, to Atlanta, and just start my life there, start working, get into my career, blase blah, etc., right? So when the day that I got up, packed up my stuff, got out of my apartment, and I was on my way to Georgia, I was driving. I think I was probably 2 hours in from Tallahassee to, okay, so first of all, Tallahassee to Atlanta is about 4 hours away. So I was 2 hours in driving, and you know, I'm just vibing to my music, listening to my songs. I'm rolling, strolling, you feel me? Like, I'm just really like getting into it. So, my car is just going fast. I guess I'm not realizing how fast it's going because I'm just driving. I guess, of course, I was speeding. So, a police officer comes out of the woodworks. He comes out of nowhere. Mind you, I'm in like a city where it's so dark, because I think it was about, I want to say it was around like 9:30 p.m. or 10 where I got pulled over. That was around the time, so it was really dark, so I didn't see anybody on the road. I was literally the only person on the road. Don't know where this police officer came from. I don't know where he was. I don't know where he was hiding. I don't know, but he got behind me. I seen his lights, so I pulled over like a good civilian that I am, and I'm like, damn, I'm gonna get a ticket. And I'm just like, whatever, because I wasn't gonna deny that I wasn't speeding, because I really was. I was just trying to get there, I was excited or whatever. So I pulled over, he came to the car. He's like, license and registration. I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. I give it to him. He goes to his car, and he's taking a long time at his car, and I'm really confused. And I'm just like, dang, he at his car for a little minute. Like, what's going on here? So, I'm patiently waiting. I'm waiting, and I'm a little anxious because I really like, I literally don't like the police. So like every time I see a police officer, I just be like, just trying to stay still, stay calm. So he comes back to my car, and he goes, you have a warrant on your name? I said, what? I said, what do you mean? Because I'm confused. I'm like, what are you talking about? I said, a warrant for what? What could little old me do? I just graduated. How I'm gonna have a warrant? So it says that it's from the court, the clerk of courts in Florida. So I was like, Florida, what about it? He said, all I can tell you is that it's in Miami-Dade. I can't tell you what it's for. I had been to Miami sometime in June. But when I was in Miami, I didn't drive there. I had rode down with my cousin, so I was just really confused. Like, how can I have a warrant in Miami when I wasn't driving? Like, I didn't do anything to like get a warrant when I was in Miami. So I was just really confused. Like, what's going on? Like, how is this happening? So when he told me that, I was sitting there confused, and I was really trying to think. Like, I'm trying to think deep. Like, what did I do in Miami? Did I do something in Miami? So like, I'm just sitting there like thinking. And then I'm like, I really don't understand. Like, can you tell me what it's for? He's like, no, I can't tell you what it's for, but I do have to tell you that I have to take you to jail. And I'm like, jail? Like, what are you talking about? I'm like, what do you mean you got to take me to jail? I didn't do anything. He's like, well, because you have a warrant on your name, I have to arrest you since I pulled you over. I'm like, what do you mean? How much is it? I'll pay it right now. Like, what's the ticket for? Like, what is it? I'll pay it right now. How much is it? Like, I'm like, what do you mean? I'll do anything to not go to jail. Like, what do I got to do? I was like, tell me, how much is it? He's like, I don't know how much it is. You have to call the clerk of courts in Miami-Dade. But I do have to take you to jail. And I'm going crazy. I'm like, what do you mean? I don't understand. Da, 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 da. Like, I'm just going off, just saying all of this stuff. Like, what do I got to do? Just tell me what I got to do. He's like, no, you can't do that. I got to take you to jail. So he goes, I'm going to go look into it a little bit more to see if I could dig deeper. And he goes back to his car, and I'm sitting in my car, and I'm freaking out. So like, I called my friend, and I'm like, yo, I just got pulled over, and the police officer talking about taking me to jail. I'm crying because, like, I'm really shook right now. I'm like, he about to take me to jail. I don't understand why he about to take me to jail. And she's like, what do you mean? What's going on? I'm like, I don't know. He said he want to take me to jail. I don't know why he want to take me to jail. I
know how I feel. Why would you say that? Like, you put me in such an uncomfortable situation. Like, you know I'm not happy. You know I'm trying to...
I ain't even do nothing. He said I got a warrant on my name. I don't even know what I did. Like, I'm freaking out. And he's coming to the car, and I told her, hold on, I'm gonna call you back. He comes back to the car, and he's basically like, your bond would be $2,000 something. I'm like, $2,000? He's like, yeah, I'm gonna let you call some people, but do you know anybody who could pick up your car? I'm like, pick up my car for what? He's like, because if I take you to jail, we can't leave your car here, or we're gonna have to tow it. And I'm like, what do you mean? Mind you, I'm 2 hours away from Atlanta. My family and my friends that I know in Atlanta are 2 hours away from me, and all my other friends that are in Tallahassee are 2 hours away from me. So I'm 2 hours out both ways. He's like, yeah, somebody needs to come pick up your car within the next 30 minutes. I'm like, there's nobody who can pick up my car in 30 minutes because everybody is 2 hours away from me. The closest people to me are 2 hours away from me. He was like, well, we're gonna have to get it towed. And I'm like, at this point, there's just so much that he's saying that I'm trying to take in, and I'm freaking out. I'm having an anxiety attack. So I really didn't want to call my mom because I just didn't want to disappoint her. I didn't even know what I did for me to call her and tell her I was going to jail. I didn't want her to freak out because I knew she was going to freak out if I called her. But I'm like, I don't want to ask anybody else for $2,000. I have to call my mom and ask her. So I called her. And I kept it really simple. I was trying not to give her too many details because I didn't want her to be worried. But she was worried anyways. I said, Mom, mind you, I'm crying. Like, I'm crying. I'm like, Mom, the police officer just pulled me over for speeding. And he said I got a warrant on my name and he has to take me to jail. I need $2,000. She's having an anxiety attack. She's going crazy. And I'm crying and I'm going crazy. I'm like, Mom, I don't have time to explain right now. I'm about to go to jail. I need the $2,000. Just send it to me. She's like, oh my gosh. Da, da, da. So boom, we get off the phone. My friend calls me back and she's like, do you need us to come get you? Yes, please. So finally, I came to the conclusion that my mom is going to send my friend. I was doing hella phone calls back and forth with different people. Came to the conclusion that my mom was going to send the money to my friend. My friend was going to come and bail me out. So, boom. It comes time to where he gets to the car and he's like, are you ready? And he's like, did you find anybody to take your car? I'm like, nobody can take my car within 30 minutes. I'm telling you that right now. My friends are on the way and they're going to take 2 hours because it's a 2 hour ride because I'm 2 hours out from Tallahassee. And he's like, okay, well, we're going to have to get it towed. I'm like, I guess so. Mind you, I'm crying. I'm freaking out. And at some point, I think that he really could see that, like, I was so distressed. He stopped asking me questions. The only thing he would ask me is, do I need to make a phone call? Because he took my phone. He handcuffed me. He put me in the back seat. And he took my phone, and he's like, you know, I'll let you hold on to your phone so you can make any phone calls that you need to make before we get there. He let me get whatever I needed out of my car to take with me to the jail, to the, whatever it's called, the jail. And I mean, he could tell I was really distressed. I was in the back seat freaking out. I was crying, yo. I was so distressed. And it wasn't even the fact that, you know, I was scared to go to jail or anything like that. It was more so like I was confused. I didn't understand why this was happening to me. I didn't know what I did and why. Like, nobody was explaining to me. He didn't have enough information to explain to me why I had to go to jail. I have a warrant on my name, but I don't understand why I have a warrant on my name. So I'm just so confused. So by the time we get to the jail, I'm freaking out even more because I'm like, this man really taking me to jail. Like, I knew I was about to go to jail, but I was confused. And then on top of that, I just graduated, you know, like I have job interviews in a few days. Like, this is going to ruin my whole life. That's all I kept thinking. Like, I just graduated. Like, I can't even get a job because of this. I don't even know what happened. I don't even know what I did. So while we're in the car, we're almost at the jail cell, at the facility. While we're in the car, he basically told me that if your friends don't get here by 12, you're staying here overnight because his shift ends at 12. I'm like, what do you mean? Mind you, by the time that we finally left where he pulled me over, it was maybe 10:15 to 10:30. I don't really remember, but it was around that type of time. So I'm like, I don't know if they'll be able to get here by 12. It's already 10:15 and it's a 2-hour ride. He's saying they need to get here by 12 and have the bail money and all of that. Mind you, for them to get the bail money, they have to give it to the bondsman. They got to meet up with the bondsman first, then drive to the jail, then, you know, all this extra shit. So boom, we get to the jail. We pull up. He takes all my stuff from me, my phone, my purse, everything. And I'm freaking out. I'm crying. As I walk into the jailhouse, they're patting me down. The lady is looking at me and she's like, what are you in here for? A traffic ticket? I'm like, I think so. I don't know. She's like, you're going to be fine. Don't cry. And I'm just like, okay. While I'm crying, I'm still crying. Because like, that didn't make me, I'm sorry. She was really nice, but that didn't make me feel better. But I'm still here. So, she pat me down. She took my information. You know, she let me stay outside of the cell for a while before she actually put me in there. She was talking to me. She was asking me, like, you know, my information so she could put my information in the system. She gave me my phone after she got all the information and asked me if I wanted to reach out to my friends to see how far they were or like to get any updates. And I was like, yes, thank you so much. So I called my friends to see where they were at, but the jail didn't have any signal. So it was really hard for us to like, every time I would call them, the call would drop. So like, maybe after like my fourth time calling, like it connected and they told me like they're an hour away. At this point, I don't know, it's like 11:30. I'm like an hour away. They're probably gonna get here at 12:30. And the guy is like, and he said he's only waiting till 12. So I'm like, I really hope that they can get here faster or he can wait a little longer. They were in contact with him. They were in contact with my mom. Everybody was in contact. The only person who wasn't in contact with nobody was me because I was in jail. I was so confused with what was happening. So boom. I need a sip because I'm stressed out, honey, just thinking about this. It maybe took her 30 minutes to get my information, take my shots, get my fingerprints. And she finally put me in a holding cell. And as I walked past the holding cell, there were several other people in cells. And they were just looking at me. And I started crying. I don't belong here. Like, I don't know what y'all did, but I don't belong here. Whatever I did is not big enough to be here. I was just so confused. So she took me to the holding cell. I got in the holding cell. Thank you, God. I was the only person in the holding cell by myself. Nobody else was in there with us in the holding cell. And it was so disgusting. It was dirty. It was ugh. In there, I'm holding myself like this. I'm holding my this is so funny to me. I'm literally holding myself like this as if I got anything to hold. All I'm holding is my dress. Like I'm just hugging myself because I don't want to touch anything. I don't want anything to touch me. I don't want anything to splash on me. I'm looking around. It's like Solo cups on the floor and I couldn't believe it because I'm like, I thought this was only in movies. They really be doing this. Like I see like on the like the little pissing stall. It's just so dirty. It stinks. I see like words all over the wall and all over the floor. You know how like in middle school and high school people used to write in the bathroom stalls, like all this BS. People was writing stuff, and then the main thing, like if you look directly through the door, the glass door, the biggest thing on the top of it was something about God. Like, I was not trying to hear none of that, and I was reading everything on the wall, and people were like, F the police, all this other stuff. And I was not having it. I was really like distressed. Like I was so distressed. So I'm just sitting there. Well, I was standing. I literally didn't sit down the whole time. I was standing like, how can I do this? I was standing like this the whole time. Right directly in front of the door. So as soon as they came and got me outside of there, I could just walk straight through the door. I did not sit down. I did not touch nothing. I did not look at nothing. Like I literally was just like this, like a statue, honey. Nobody could touch me. Nobody could make me move, honey. I was just waiting. I was like, I can't wait for them to tell me it's time to go. And time went by so slow in there. Like I felt like I was standing for like 3 hours. One of the officers came to my cell, and I'm thinking he about to tell me I'm about to go. And he said, do you want a blanket? At this point, I'm mad. Like, I'm upset. Like, don't even talk to me. Like, and I know it's not his fault, but I'm just upset. Like, don't talk to me.
Coronavirus!
Coronavirus! Let me stop. I'm playing. Okay, so he asked me if I want a blanket. I said, no, I don't want one. So he walked away, and I'm just sitting there like, oh my gosh, I just wish this would go by faster. So 30 minutes after that, he came back, and then he said, are you ready to go? And I looked at him and said, yeah, I was so pissed. I didn't say anything. I just walked. He opened the door, and I just walked out. When I walked out, she gave me my stuff, and I had stopped crying at this point. I think I stopped crying after like an hour. I was on and off crying. I was in the cell standing there. Like I would cry every 5 minutes, and then I would stop crying. Then I would cry every 5 minutes. Then I would stop crying. And I would start praying. I'm like, God, please, I don't know what I did, but I promise whatever it is, I promise that I'm not going to do it no more. Yo, I was saying so many prayers. The next day, I had to figure out what went on. So when I woke up early in the morning, I called the clerk of court, Miami-Dade County clerk of court, told me I got a ticket from a couple of months ago. It was like a ticket from like 8 months ago. And I'm like, 8 months ago? And it was a red light ticket in Miami. So what had happened was me and my brother, during the time a year before that happened, me and my brother, he got my old car and I got a new car. So my old car had my old license tag linked to it. So anytime that he was driving my car, if he did get a red light ticket, because it's a red light ticket and not like a, you know, getting pulled over with your name on it, it will automatically go to like my name, because the ticket, the license tag was the plates was still in my name. Apparently there was like mail that was supposed to be sent to me about the plates, because my mail went to Tallahassee, because at the time I was living in Tallahassee. But I guess I never saw the mail. I never got it. I don't really know what happened with that. I don't know, because I don't know what where the mail came from, because I didn't get it, period. But come to find out, he got a red light ticket under my name because he was using the car that was now his with my plates on it. I was relieved that it was nothing serious. So I was like, you know, even though I just went to jail, this is not something that is going to really affect my future, because it's a red light ticket. Like, so I called my mom, and basically she helped me pay for everything, because this was like a big throw in the face, but she helped me pay for everything. And the next day, I had to figure out a way to go get my car. So the place that I went to jail in was 2 hours away from Atlanta. My friend came pick me up and took me to Atlanta. So now I'm 2 hours away from my car, because my car is in that same area. I couldn't get my car out that night because first of all, my license was still suspended. And I still had a warrant. Well, no, did I still have a warrant? Yeah, I still had a warrant on my name, because all of that stuff wasn't paid yet, and I couldn't pay it until I called the clerk of courts in the morning, and they weren't open until the morning. So just to get that out of the way. So when I got back to Atlanta, I had to find a way to go back to that place to get my car. So my cousin basically, when she got off of work, she took me to, she drove me all the way over there, 2 hours away, to get my car. Got my car out of the place. A whole lot of that I had to do to get my car out of that place, but I got it, and then drove back to Atlanta. Honestly speaking, that was a really crazy situation for me. That was very traumatic in itself. I still have a little bit of trauma from that. I really am scared of the police now. I think I've been scared of the police, but now I like have major anxiety when it comes to the police. Any police get behind me, I'm literally like shriveled up, like sick to my stomach. I did have to go to court. So I had to go to court to get the charges dropped, basically. They told me I could either pay for all the charges, or if I can't pay for all the charges today, I can do a 6-month financial probation. I was like, I'll be on a 6-month probation. Basically, what came with the 6-month probation is every month I had to pay a certain amount. And I just couldn't get into any more trouble after that. If I did, it would go on my probation. It would make my probation longer, or whatever the case may be. So I finished the 6-month probation. I paid them every month. On the last month, I paid them double the month before the last, so I could hurry up and get off of it. And on the last month, I ain't had to pay nothing, so I was really happy about that. God is good all the time. All the time, God is good. Thank you, Lord. Love you so much. I am blessed. But yeah, after that whole probation, it hasn't affected me anymore. And I'm saying like in a physical way, like it never stopped me from getting any job interviews. I was still getting tons of job interviews. I still was able to nail my job. It was a learning experience. I think I needed that to learn how to stop speeding, because I'm always speeding. I don't know how many speeding tickets I done got in my life, but I ain't never getting none after that. I promise you that. I haven't sped for real since then. I think it just taught me to follow the rules, be patient, and trust the process. In a way, I look at it as a learning experience, even though it's still a traumatic one. I would never want to go through that again. So because of that, I will take the precautions to make sure that never happens to me again. I will always think about what I'm doing before I do it. So like that will always, like in my head, if anything will cause me to go to jail, I don't want to do it, because I don't want to go to that place. This was a very long story. I do talk really fast. I hope y'all understood what I was saying. Until then, cheers, and stay out of jail, don't speed, and pay your tickets, and make sure you check if your license is suspended before you're going on a road trip, okay?